Greetings, it's Intuitive Jacob, your shaman and cosmic midwife, and we're back to do your November readings. I'll be reading with 4 decks that you're going to see on the next screen, and we'll catch you on the inside. Thanks for being here. To answer some questions about who, where, what, and when/why, we're going to be taking a look with these 4 decks. For a look at the who, we'll be pulling a Black Moon astrology card, which might give us an idea of Sun, Moon, or Rising with people that might be playing a role or having something to do with this time frame. The when time factor is sort of elusive. We're going to be pulling 2 cards, one for the what and one for the why, that speak a little bit to that. Although we're looking in the quote-unquote month of November, these are somewhat timeless, and sometimes there is a karmic or past life, if you will, implication on situations. So we'll be looking with both the past life oracle cards for that what/when, and also taking a look with our archetype cards for a why/when. And for where these things will be occurring, or giving us an idea of the context of the situation, we'll be having a look with the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot. My sweet Gemini, I had to cover my third eye on this. I don't know what urgent communication it is that you've been needing, but this flew out of my deck. This is your card for the where it's affecting you, and we're just going to go ahead through the wormhole together and make sure that whatever this urgent news is actually receiving some smudge attention. There have been messages flying all over this mug, and perhaps it's due to the nature of Gemini, especially in your season of retrograded planetary awareness stuff, because your ruling planet is actually Mercury, according to astrologers. And so it's in retrograde. I'm here for some of you all. It's like the return of information, the return of news. In some cases, it's like, am I in love? Am I in love? What is this feeling? And so it's like a swirl of things for different ones of you. And I'm just going to set it up right because it came in sideways to me. You know, the Uranian guy at 14 degrees Aquarius who opened up to do this at 15-degree Aquarius moon. So it's kind of like going right into my domain of here's where it comes in sideways and surprises us, and I just get to be the caricature here with you. So I love you, and just know I never want to see more than I need to, and hope that whatever messages you need are coming to you the right way. Alright, so this could be dealing with fiery element people too, if it's not due to your own fiery nature, because some of you all are muy caliente, Gemini. You might have some fire in your chart. I'm hearing Sag here, but a lot of times this is Leo for me since it is an 8. Could be Aries as well. But let's go ahead and let's just flip your other cards, because I was actually going to start with an astrology card. We have a Who card with the Black Moon astrology cards that sometimes will let us know whose Sun, Moon, or Rising is showing up, just so we have an idea of elements and people that might be here. doesn't have to do with the fire, but it could be. And that did jump out, and I did hear it for some of you too. So keep it in mind. It might show up. All right. Well, we've got Cancer showing up as your Who card. That's number 16. And it says, I feel. And so you might be dealing with somebody whose sun, moon, or rising is in Cancer. Very likely. How that's affecting you could be really kind of turbulent is what I'm feeling. I was feeling a lot of energy going up and down, like a surging. And so for some of you all, you might be like on a little bit of a roller coaster. My words are not coming out very clearly, and I'm hearing for some of you all, this is me just playing Mercury retrograde and also being just funny Jacob here in my house, but I'm hearing some of you all might be a little tongue-tied around this person. So it's possible. That happens during retrograde season. It's the planet of communication, so sometimes things come out a little differently, especially if we're feeling emotional or around people who draw on our emotional elements, or maybe who stir that water that we have, especially if you're a Gemini that maybe doesn't have any water in your chart. This might be like uncharted territory, and why this kind of communication card was showing up too, because this is the where it's affecting you card. And for me, that's like travel and communications. It's also the 8th house sometimes, which is the house of magic. And I just have to put that out there because I'm an 8th house sun guy. And so for me, this is like me jumping into my fire moon as an Aquarius, who's also got an opposing fire moon in my Saturn there. It's like how I learned how to wield my fire as the air and be like a Cancer that was never there, you know? So for some of you, this is a special way to tap into more of your energy reserves that might be subtler communication. So especially for those of you that might be doing Kundalini work or might be doing different kinds of spiritual practices or meditations or working with your goddess, priestess self, your angels, your higher beings, whatever it is that you have relevant for you, this is a time where you're definitely going to feel it more, especially if there's a Cancer person somewhere in your midst, okay? So let's see what's showing up with your what card. This is kind of a when card for me too, because it's what shows up when that happens. And for some people, there's a karmic or cosmic tie. Depending on what your own dogmas and belief systems are, I recommend none. Be in your faith. And sometimes, since we've been in the particle material mash of advances in the integration of technology with our form as sentient beings, it's like the marriage of the higher essence where we can actually call things into form as if they were, and then they become, because tech is tight. And so people start spilling dogma and past lives and stuff like that, whether or not you believe in it, and I certainly don't. I spray things like that away and say, chase it. We're around loving angels that got cell phones and robots in their hands, and we got smart technology, and we know about thank you for advanced home security and creating crystalline baby gates over these cameras that are turning around in the fiber optic wheels, so that nobody's looking through your eye and your cell phone and being around you and trying to make up stories about things that couldn't possibly be true. And that's what we've been closing in these gates. So it's possible I could even be this Cancer person strength, because I'm the 0 degrees Cancer guy. It is the all-seeing, no, I didn't want to guy, protecting Akashic records, and why some of these communications might be sideways for a reason. Maybe they were protected and not circumvented. And some of you all have very prophetic witness protecting all of you. So know that before I flip this card, because I'm never going to insist any dogmas on you. I'm going to be the guy that says, yada, yada, chase that stuff away, because Tower of Babel is now decoded. And we can know what people say between the lines, because all has been observed. So, what's showing up? The arts. So, karmic is what they will say about this in past lives in this deck. Not my dogma. I'm saying this is the time to remind you of the things that never slipped through your grasp while you were asleep, like sands through the hourglass, where we say, no, bring us more arts and play, and give us more of what time never was, because that one kind of hurts to hear about. It's like, like you're running out of it. No, it's not. We have ways that we can particle infuse things into ourselves by being our loving highest work of art. And some of you all are going to be very inspired to pick up something that you haven't done in a while, or something that you've been prolonging, something that maybe you thought about. Maybe it's there, like my guitar on the wall, and me remembering I got to practice some more, and also sharing that with you here in the chords. Because these are things that all of you have in you. And what's funny about the word arts? If you start to spell it backwards and realize that we're on the beginning of a thing that never started, maybe we can have talks about that instead, because STAR, if you do a little reversal there, maybe the star in you is looking for a new start. This is a word that looks like starts to me. And this is energy saying, I think I can. What kind of message do I need to know that I can, and that I feel these things, and that it's okay? And you know what, Cancer? I know you can. So know that this is kind of up to you being the one that says, yeah, I'm the only one that needs to start myself here, and know that I'm worthy of whatever it is. Because for some of you all, you might be feeling the urge to make a change that you just didn't even know you could want to do. I'm hearing, especially if you've got a lot of, you might want to check the Taurus reading if you are on the cusp, because I just did their reading and I was getting a real kind of cross reading for you guys. And so maybe you're dealing with the Taurus. I don't know, maybe you have Taurus in your chart, but it was like this being on the wall of like two sides of your world and trying to figure out how to integrate them all, And so there doesn't have to be a decimal or a I dot there if you don't want it. And that's something that, Cancer knows too, about the protective shell over things that they actually feel and what it might be like dealing with that person, if this is an actual person external to you. Sometimes they're kind of hard to break into. It's like, it's a thin shell, but it's hard. And if you're not in, you're not in. It's like you're just not in. And that one might be surprising, because if this is a person, they don't have to be direct the way you think direct is, and you're real logical most likely. Even if you're real kind of into the woo, you might be kind of logical. You know how to make some logic happen. And Cancer's logic is different. It's an I feel logic, and they don't care if you don't get it. It's like, are you kidding me? You're not in here, And so it's like, know those two sides of the moon and what it is to be a Cancer, because sometimes they're in the water, sometimes they're out of the water. It's like, where are you? In the water, out of the water, wherever they want to be. And then you want to talk to the Cancer. Well, they're not going to walk up to you or come back from you. They're like sideways and sideways. So it's like, what? So this might be you like trying to sail in sideways with your communication. It's like, here you go, Gemini, you got to come in, like kind of like that, like a ninja, because you're dealing with this funny little character that they're feeling things, and you might be feeling them too. Like you need to make some changes about how you communicate, how you share your art. And I'm here for some of you, this is just some sick Kundalini moves. You might be some kind of like fire goddess, Kali Ma, going into some phases here. But whatever it is, the number 17, the number 8, and those might be helpful for whatever you're doing. I'm hearing 817 might actually have been a date for this, if this is something to deal with the month of August for some of you. You're going to know if it was or not. I'm going to go ahead and just move on, because we've got the when, why card with the archetypes here. And this is another weird one. It's like, this is why this happens. When you're in this situation, this is what it is that you're looking at. And so you'll have a little radar, because with the planet Mercury pulling things back into our arena, it's like a big magnet. Sometimes it's good to know where those chess pieces landed and which ones you just want to say nope to. So And you might want your own private reading. Let me just mention too right now, thank you if you like this reading. I appreciate the thumbs up. Thanks for remembering to do that and subscribing if you like it. If you are interested, I have a private chat room. Information's here and there where we share messages. There's some sensitives in there. And you're welcome to join us. And if you want your own private reading with just your information, hit me up, details below. Okay? All right. Here's what the archetype card says. We've got the Avenger. Okay, so this might also describe the who. And I'm hearing it's more who you are or become in this situation and why. Why? It's like whenever these things are going on, and that might look like somebody to you, and here for some of you too, this is just like whatever parody you were playing for Halloween, whatever it was, I hear your outfit was sick. Because look at this, that's the Crusader coming in and being like, world travel badassery. On the Avenger side, so here's what it says. Desire to balance the scales of justice. Righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. Shadow attribute states, resorting to violence in the name of a cause. So, wow. What a way to bring out a hero, right? Or the heroine energy. Does that remind you of something there, Gemini? I'm hearing whoever this Cancer person is really might have tried you in some kind of way, and it might have brought out something you didn't know could be there, and where resorting to violence in the name of a cause actually really rubs you the wrong way when you hear those words, is all I'm going to say there. You're going to know if that's relevant to you. I'm going to go ahead and pull a few Sibyls for you. We got these chatty Sibyls that can tell us a little bit more about this. I'm getting like a giggles for some of you. I'm hearing it's like, I need to talk. I need to say something. So, you know, this might just be bringing out your chatty self. Some people do better during Mercury retrograde. Word got taken from me there, so you're gonna know. Yeah, some of y'all been playing Percy games, huh? Anyway, I hear it's that one right there for you. Give it a cut now, shall we, Gemini? Woo! Knock that guitar down. That guitar is on the focal point here, huh? Let's see what it says. Ay. Whoa, wait. Wow. Who is that? Gemini. Wow. Gran Signore. I hear. Okay, if this is not about like your dad, you know, or like, yeah, because this can be father sometimes. It's like, that's like marriage material right there, you know? Is how sometimes people see this one. That's what's looking back at me right now. We got Dottore. That's the doctor. Somebody that will actually do a service to you in person. It's like somebody that in this situation actually will go to you. And so that's a house call there. Here's a reunion. Oh, that's nice. This is about things coming full cycle. The Dottore is a 13. That's actually the end of this suit. This is actually my fire suit in these cards here. And so I'm hearing for some of you all too, it's like, I'm sorry, if I'm hearing for somebody, it's like, you know, end of life wishes and things that are happening around someone's father. And so you're going to know, maybe, you know, it's bringing up some ideas for you, for somebody. I'm hearing that this reunion, I mean, this is usually a romantic reunion for me with people, but I'm hearing for some of you all, it's like, especially if your father has already passed away and this is like your marriage material guy here, it's like considering a form of travel that For some of you all, it's like 5D communication. It's like trying to reach somebody in a special way before you actually inform them of things like, hi, I want to see you, you know? And in other cases, it's like just knowing that it's going to be a big deal. Because I'm hearing for some of you all, it's like you might have moved away and you might have been gone, like I'm hearing like 8 years, 7, 8 years. Maybe just practicing your art, doing whatever it is that you've actually become proficient in. Because I'm hearing for some of you all, it's like you might have like a doctorate of some kind of fine arts. You know, maybe it's not considered the doctor like that, but you might be a doctor of some kind. And it's like, you know, it's the funny things that we hear in words. And planning a reunion to come and see somebody that might not be well. I'm hearing for some of you all too, it's like, especially if it's like your family member, you haven't seen them in a long time, if it's been like an estrangement, you might be feeling kind of like, I'm just hearing a lot of emotions over this start, especially if you're like overseas, because I'm hearing for some of you all, it's like, it's big travel for you. And if it isn't to see a relative that's, I'm hearing for somebody, it's like visiting where they have actually passed. It's like they're deceased and you want to go and visit this place. It's like a memorialization thing. But if it's not that, I'm hearing for some of y'all, it's like, how do I go see this like marriage material person? And it's like overseas travel that you're planning. And I'm hearing you're going to go with your gut and you're going to figure out how to still be strong and feel strong, where it's like you don't have to feel encumbered by opening yourself up. It's like you're a special kind of Avenger. You need to know that. It's protected. Wow. Especially if you're in love. So there you go. Lamonte. That is the male lover in this deck. And he's in love. You know, he's been planning for love. Sometimes he's just being love. It's like somebody might not even be there. Sometimes this is like the Rapunzel that he's just singing to, and she might not be noticing. But in other cases, this is his own house. This is just how he is. You know, he's just like that. And so it's like, you know, maybe you're seeing this person as healing and as a lover and somebody that you want to see for one reason or another. But we're seeing marriage material here somewhere. Some of y'all are going to know exactly how that fits for you in your situation. And for those of you, maybe this is something completely different. Maybe this is advice for you, because for some of you all, especially if you're not interested in a romantic situation, I'm hearing it's kind of like a path that your father or father figure might have approved of for you. And then in some cases, it's like a partnership is what I'm hearing, because I'm just hearing for somebody, it's like, no, this is a creative partnership that I wanted to talk to somebody about. It's not really a romantic reunion, but for those of you who it is, it's, you know, all the energies are here for it to go whatever path super infuses for you best. So these are just cards. Know that these are general readings and that you're always empowered to use your own discernment as to whether or not these things make sense. And I just really put them out there to be kind of like preemptive witness about what energies are here, so that when you're going through the motions with people, you might have an idea of what the angles are around. Okay. Thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate you. If I can do a personal reading for you, please hit me up. I'd love to do that. And if I don't hear from you, you take care, Gemini. We'll catch you again soon. We're back for another one. Bye for now.
Promise that you'll catch me later.